42 cars, 74 laps, coming to you live from Darlington Speedway here. It is race 13 of the LIMECAR SimRacing Challenge, Season 4, coming up next.
Some of the sights and sounds around Darlington Raceway include this beautiful place, South Carolina Country Club. This week, the state tennis and golf championships are being held there. And boy, there are a lot of race fans in this area. However, this guy was out on Friday playing golf in the rain. As we said, the weather has improved greatly, and it's a partly sunny day here in South Carolina, and the temperature is in the upper 60s. And our overhead shots are being provided by the Family Channel blimp, piloted by Chief Pilot Alan Burrows. Darlington Raceway, as we take a look at the Busch course description, 1.3 miles in length, and you guys know better than I, it is a tough racetrack.
You can see how it's egg-shaped. This is turns 1 and 2, banked 25 degrees, a much shorter corner than 3 and 4. Going down the back straightaway, which is 1,228 feet long.
And then you go into turn 3, a wide sweeping turn. One of the toughest turns in all of auto racing, banked 23 degrees. It's impossible to set a race car up on this track where you get around both turns good. And then you come off of turn 4 on the front stretch. The length of it is 1,228 feet.
And that describes for you the lady in black, the track too tough to tame, Darlington Raceway.
Hello everybody and welcome to beautiful South Carolina for race 13, the Southern 500 at Darlington. I am here in the booth alongside two very handsome co-commentators. We have Charlie Lamar and Dominic Anthony alongside me. Gentlemen, how are we doing here tonight?
We're doing just fine. We're ready for some hard racing here down in South Carolina. What about you, Dominic?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Hopefully it should be a good race like it was last year.
Absolutely. This track has been a staple on the LIMECAR calendar. The fourth season of LIMECAR, the fourth time that we've come here, and probably, I would have to imagine, would be the fourth great iteration of this race. Last season saw a phenomenal race, but last week we saw a phenomenal finish. It was Aris Yuko used a little bumper to get by Christopher Marnell in his victory in the Brickyard 400, the first time that we went to the Brickyard, and it certainly will not be the last. Phenomenal race, phenomenal finish for Yuko's second win of the season. And now we move on to race 13, another crown jewel here for the Southern 500.
And after that dominant run by Aris Yuko at Indy, those Fords are looking quite fast. They are all up near the top of the list. But the real story has been Robbie Gordoff. He was fastest in practice, and he backed that up with pole. He's going to start from P1 here today.
Yeah, our keys to the race today, we have 74 laps around this 1.3 mile oval. The fuel run is going to be 28 to 32 laps, but much like tracks like Atlanta and Fontana, the tires are going to fall off before then. You're going to want to change tires after around 20 laps. Very unique track here because turns 1 and 2 are tighter radius than 3 and 4. They also have 25 degrees of banking in 1 and 2 as opposed to 23 in 3 and 4. And as I said with the tires, we're expecting this to be a two-stop race, but depending on how the cautions fall, it could be more or less, just depending on how the drivers and teams will manage it.
Another thing to note, exit of turn 2 has been a trouble zone for a lot of guys this practice and also in races past. Something to watch out for as we get ready to go green here.
For sure, we've seen that turn 2 trouble spot really take a number on some drivers as we have two cars going to the rear because of that turn 2. So we'll dive into that later. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. On the front row, Robbie Gordoff taking yet another pole, and Jerry Chen. Garrett Lamar, Reed Simpson make up row number 2. Row 3 is going to see Braden Sigathus and Michael Guthrie. Great run for Sigathus starting up front. Row 4, Ian McDaniel and Henry Guo. Row 5, Matthew Fastnot and Desquarius Greenhouse Jr. Row number 6, we're going to move forward to Jeremy Mead and Tyler Cook. Santiago Nicholas and Alexander Rowe make up row 7. Row 8, Quinton Haley and Zachary Ponce, last year's winner, going to the rear for a backup. Christian Visconti, Blake Walker make up row 9. Row number 10 is going to see Logan Williams and Riley Gorse. Row 11 has Chris Lilly and Ricardo Garcia. Row number 12 is going to move forwards. We'll see Christopher Marnell and Eris Yuko, the two drivers competing for the win last week. Aaron Giffen, Chase Gibbons make up row 13. Row 14 is going to have Kaz Gralla also going to the rear, and Ethan Harrison. Strokey Banger, Nathan Stapleton in row number 15. Row 16 is going to have Ryan Barone and Joe Kraus. Row number 17, Justin Haley, Kyle Mabey. Row 18 is going to move forwards. We'll go to the back half of the field. Richard Fridge, Jordan Madrid in Country Time Lemonade Chevrolet. Row number 19, Sean McKean and Anthony Foss. Row 20 is going to have Carson Green and Cam Arrow. And then rounding out today's field for the Southern 500, Stephen Colin and Brayson Collins. 74 laps, 1.3 mile track. Gentlemen, it is sure to be a fun one. Robbie Gordoff, Jerry Chen leading him down. Green flag is out. We're underway. Through the gears they go, racing into turn number 1.
.33 is going to
start
edge
by the
out
inside lane
early.
Yeah, CRT teammates are both going to clear the outside pole.
It's an all Valvoline front row as we race into turn 3. Gordoff leads from Lamar, and Chen third in the outside, still holding strong.
Chen's going to get a good run through turns 3 and 4. He's going to retake that second place spot down the front straightaway. A sight we've seen quite a lot of times this season, guys. Robbie Gordoff leading after taking the pole, but no wins so far on the year. And Ian McDaniel smacking into the wall. First driver to get a Darlington stripe. Those Fords have been fast. Oh, big wiggle. But guys, we haven't seen Robbie Gordoff take home the victory in his season and a half yet. But I would say this is his 8th or 9th pole. Could today be the day that he gets it done? It's a driver's track. He's really going to have to hold on to those tires and have a lot to run.
I mean, when you run like he's run, you're gonna win a race eventually, even if it falls into your lap. So I'd say he's just gonna keep doing what he's doing, and then he'll get there eventually. As we see the top 2 both in the wall there.
Reed Simpson
looks like,
challenging for the lead.
Really looks like that grip is at a premium here early on. A lot of drivers running a lot of different lines here. Simpson tries to make the bottom work here, battling against Chen and Lamar.
I think through 3 and 4, the bottom isn't going to be your preferred line.
With Ian McDaniel on lap 1, you called it the Darlington stripe. I'd say that was a little bit more. He was kind of glued to it for half the corner there, so he seems to be keeping pace for now, but that was a pretty hard hit.
Tell you what, with how much these guys have been in the wall this early, they're going to be using up their equipment quickly. They need to be a little bit more conservative as a caution comes out early. Garcia involved, and it's a big one down the backstretch.
Garcia, that's Kyle. Maybe it looked like the 69 involved as well. Gordoff's going to lead him back to lap 5 of 74. Boys, our first yellow of the day, and it came early.
Yeah, right at the back of the field there. Obviously, that's the risk of having a bad qualifying run. You get back there and, 30th on back. It's easy to get caught up and stuff. But then Garcia was the first one to go around there. It looks like he just kind of came up on whoever that was to his outside, and a lot of guys behind him had nowhere to go.
Looks like Sean McKean got the worst of it. We'll on board 67.
To me, like they all just wrecked in front of him and he had nowhere to go. A huge hit to the back of the 32. It's probably going to end his day, I would think.
Another look at it. It looks like Kaz Gralla actually stepped out of it because he hit the wall and just turns down into the field with maybe swerving to avoid him, and the 32 looks like, I think the 32 was swerving to avoid him, and that actually hurt his chances of making it through. So we'll have some cars come down pit road. The 33 of Gordoff, the 37, and a few others stay out while it looks like the rest of the field's coming down. Quite the interesting strategy call here on lap 5 of 74.
Yeah, I guarantee you that's not what Robbie Gordoff wanted to see in his mirror. Anytime you make a call when you're the only one to do it, that doesn't exactly fill you with confidence. So maybe it'll work out for him, but he's certainly in the minority right now.
Especially at a track like Darlington, where tires really matter down the stretch. It's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds going down through the race.
4 drivers stayed out. That was Gordoff, Rowe, Walker, and Mead. 4 tires and fuel for the rest of the field coming down pit road. The 4 of Simpson taking a look at some extended repairs. Everybody involved in that incident earlier on is able to continue. So we will see still a field of 42.
Yeah, that'll make for some interesting lap traffic later in the race, because I guarantee you the cars like the 32 and the 67 are not going to be keeping pace.
We'll restart on lap 9 of 74 here. Single file restart with no lapped cars to the bottom. I think the leaders are going to find that a luxury as we make our way through the rest of the day. Gordoff back going, green flag. 33 gets a big jump out in front of Alexander Rowe, who started near the middle of the pack. The strategy call, bringing the esteemed veteran Season 2 champion to the front of the field. The precautions fly the way they have been, at the very least, a very early yellow. If that trend continues, maybe the 37 makes it out of Dodge with a little bit of luck, but as of right now, we stay green, nobody in the wall. The field roars through to lap 10 of 74.
Yeah, talking about Alex, he's been really strong this season at the high tire wear tracks. He got second at Atlanta, second at Fontana, really close finishes in both of those races, so seems to be his bread and butter so far, as we have another CRT car in the wall.
Tell you what, he needs to get off his phone and focus on making the corner, because that is about the 5th time I have seen him just tear the wall down here, referring to Lamar in the 13.
That's your son, Charlie. You got to talk some sense into him.
I might just go boot up the radio here in a second.
Jerry Chen was the first driver off pit road in 5th. Braden Sigafus restarted in 7th. He's going to smack the wall a little bit, give it a little bit of stroke. 53 has not gotten by the front pack here yet, although I would have to imagine as the tires start to wear down for that front group, having 4 laps of racing versus 0 behind them at the restart. We'll have to see when that cliff really takes place and if Jerry Chen is able to move his way through the front part of the field.
This early into the run, the advantage will probably be pretty negligible, but say we get another caution later on and someone stays out, it'll be really noticeable when they're on old tires. And they're a big old moment for Quentin Haley down the backstretch. He manages to hold on to it.
Quite the save.
Doing his best David Stremme impression of hitting the wall, but doing his best Quentin Haley impression of saving the car. Alexander Rowe is going to move to the high side. A little bit of a lead change here. The 37 takes the lead away from the 33. They'll be side by side down the back straightaway. And the 41 of, it appears, Ricardo Garcia is well off the pace, or I would have to imagine he's pitted or is well off the pace, but he is right in front of the leaders. Seems to be pulling away, though. He must have come down pit road to fix something of some flavor.
Yeah, it might not happen right now with the 41, but when the time comes to lap slower cars, it's going to be more of a problem here than at other tracks because it's a really narrow racing line. There's really only 2 or 3 grooves that you can use, whereas, oh man, we have a crash here on the backstretch with Tyler Cook.
The 60 nearly saved it, and the 43 is going to be an unlucky recipient. No yellow, we stay green. Here's a replay.
It just looks like the 60 might have gotten a little help there from the 78, and unfortunately long place, long time for Tyler Cook there as he goes around.
Pretty surprising non-call there from the officials.
Oh, I think we're
this is probably going to be a yellow here as we have multiple cars around.
That's
on his side almost.
Oh, we got cars upside down.
Oh,
that's the 71.
They are
They just
wrecking
keep piling
everywhere.
in right there.
A big case of ARCA brake.
I just saw Tyler Cook
Huge damage
fire
to
it through
the
the wreckage there, so maybe spinning out a lap earlier was a blessing in disguise for him, assuming he avoided all that.
Yeah, if he didn't spin, he would have been right in the middle of all that, so maybe it all works out one way or another as we look at a replay here.
It's like Visconti bounced off the wall, Haley was right underneath him, and then everybody piles in.
Spotters must be a little bit tipsy today, because that seemed a lot avoidable.
Yeah, that was
71.
quite shocking, yeah.
The look with Stapleton, a big impact. And he just comes right back up into the middle of everybody, and they just pile through. He ends up on his roof.
I mean, you see Zachary Ponce, the 32, the driver behind Ponce. A lot of those guys in the back were all on board with Magic. Just no brakes. Like, everybody is trying to get on through. Very, very. Oh, I think actually Magic had nowhere to go.
Yeah, I mean, he had a brake pedal, but I mean, outside of that, I guess.
Still a little unfortunate there for him. Here's a look from the helicam at Nathan Stapleton.
You see the incident in front of him. 31 goes around. Looks like the 47 of Guo gets a little bit of damage there. Keeps it straight, and then, oh, the 32 of Kyle Maybe is shoving the 16 through the incident. Very Kyle Maybe thing to do, but not with that much damage on the front of his race car.
Here we got a little pit stop sequence. Cars that stayed out pit, as well as some of the guys who pit earlier. As the 37 leads them down pit road.
So
and
we're on
doesn't look like anyone stayed out there, so this might work out for guys like the 33 and the 37. Put them back on equal footing with everyone who pit earlier.
So this is lap 16. So if you guys pit here, you'll have to pit one more time, but you'll have hit your fuel window and you'll have hit your marks. Basically, this is the perfect opportune time for the 37 and the 33 to come down pit road. All those guys that stayed out have really gotten lucky here with the timing of this yellow. But the 53 is going to take 2 tires off and away. So does the 13, the 52, and the 33 is going to fall down and lose quite a few spots here.
More importantly than that, he falls behind the 37, who took 4 tires with him. So that'll be something to watch as we get ready to come back to green here.
Jerry Chen led a few laps last week at Indianapolis. Your new leader here at Darlington is we'll restart with 2 cars on the bottom. Lapped cars of Garcia and Jordan Madrid. Keep an eye out to watch for that. Restart on lap 20. Your top 10 is going to be Jerry Chen from Lamar, Guthrie, Greenhouse, Yuko, Alexander Rowe, Bordoff, Sigafos, Blake Walker, and Ian McDaniel. All 4 Astolfo Fords in the top 5 here, with Lamar the only Chevy in the top sequence. Green flag is back out, back underway. Let's see what Jerry Chen can do up front.
They thunder down to turn 1. Chen gets clear of the bottom. He should be able to get clear off of 2. Lamar follows him right through, and they are both clear of the lap traffic. As it looks like Madron's just a parachute out there holding up everyone else.
I was going to say, it'll be interesting to see who can navigate these 2 lap cars here. It looks like not many of them.
Oh, we got a car coming down pit road. Doesn't appear to be anybody. It looks like it was a driver that already had damage. 68 and Madrid all hard in the wall. And it looks like Ricardo Garcia, the 41, I think he's playing favorites to his boss here. He is holding up Michael Guthrie, keeping the front 2 a decent amount away from 3rd place.
Here we got the 37 crawling all over the back of the 68. He's blowing up on the radio. He's begging for him to give him the chance to get by as the 6 looks to his inside.
Man,
Hard in the wall.
Knock the fence down for the 2nd lap in a row here. Really trying to keep up with these cars that are a lap ahead of him, I guess.
We got the 41 pulling out of the way as 54 and 33 battle. We got a mess of them here.
Tyler Cook is trying to make his way back through the field. We see a lot of guys that pitted earlier, taking 4 tires once again. LIMECAR officials giving drivers and teams lots of options here as Santiago Nicholas goes in the wall. Guys, we've got 7 sets laying for these guys across 74 laps. Should be plenty of tires throughout the day, so these guys can really mix and match and gamble with the tire set if they need to.
Lamar's doing a really good job keeping pace with Jerry Chen here. They've definitely scooted away from the rest of the field as Guthrie got caught behind Garcia there momentarily, but he has since broken free.
Looks like another Lamar Race Shop's entry just off the road in Camaro. He might play favorites again. We will see.
We'll have to see if Lamar is happy to see his Lamar Race Shop's car in front and hopefully holding up his opponent, or upset that 2 of his 3 cars are about to be lapped this early in the race.
You got a fight between
tumultuous season.
Got a fight between Strokey Bank. Well, never mind. We got a fight between Ryan Barone and Chase Gibbons. Barone lifts off heavy going into 3 and gets passed around the outside by Nicholas.
Oh, there's Madron. He goes around.
Kaz Gralla got a piece of that, and it looks like one other car. I'm not quite sure who that was in the white car, but that could have been a lot bigger than it was.
Yellow flies for the 3rd time today.
Will remain Jerry Chen out in front as we get ready to look at a replay here.
We all could have expected that. 68 hits the wall, bounces into the 3. That sends the 68 around. Unfortunate for Madron, as really he should just be getting out of the way with that damage of a race car. So we're going to see some drivers come down pit road. Big gamble here by these guys up front. The top 4 or 5, plus Ian McDaniel coming down pit road. The rest of the field staying out.
Yeah, regarding that last yellow there, I didn't want to interrupt at the moment, but a very similar situation happened a couple laps ago with Christopher Marnell and Jordan Madron, where Marnell came up on Madron super quickly, and Madron was in the wall, and Marnell almost ran up the track and spun himself off of Madron's nose. They kept it clean that time, but obviously, second time around, it didn't happen with Kaz Gralla.
2 tires, left side tires for everybody coming down pit road, and off and away they go. This, guys, this will put these guys way back in the deep end of the pack here. I think this is going to be an intriguing storyline and intriguing play call here on coming to lap 30 of 74.
Certainly a confusing decision made on those pit boxes, but those guys get paid more than me to do that, so I'll trust their decision, as the 33 is going to lead us back to green here.
Gordoff from Walker Rowe, 97 to 14 in 83. That'll be your top 6 as the field roars on by.
It's like Gordoff got away well.
Just like last time, Garcia is going to get up in front of the 3rd place car and kind of hold up the rest of the pack behind 1st and 2nd.
Here you can see all the 2 tire stoppers here motioning through all the damaged cars, trying to make quick work of them so that strategy doesn't blow up in their face.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a super perplexing call by these guys. I mean, it wasn't a super long run, and then to take 2 tires instead of 4 on top of that, it's not going to be a very big pace difference, so I don't think they're going to come through this field very much at all.
Especially with how tight the field is. We got a car coming down pit road. That's Christopher Marnell. He's got an issue of some flavor, the 23, hitting from 10th.
Our points leader in trouble here. I mean, it's still early in the race, but definitely not what you want to see.
That really makes you think back to the incident he had with Madron. Maybe he picked up a bit of damage from that, and that's what's currently undoing him, as Gordoff continues to lead from Walker.
Battle for 6th place here, with the 83, 43, and 60 fighting just behind them. Logan Williams getting a little bit loose through the corner. The 17 falling back just a tad. The 83 makes quick work. 23 is going to get 4 tires and fuel. He had a vibration. They wanted to change it out. Must have picked up some debris, like you said, from the mattress.
That's probably going to trap him at least 1 lap down, which, depending on how these yellows fall, could very well just end his chances now. He's going to have to hope for a lot of cautions going down this stretch here.
Yeah, and the good thing for him is his closest competition, Garrett Lamar, is also mired deep in the field. So this shouldn't be a complete killer. I mean, those two have a pretty big gap to third in points. So obviously not ideal, but it could be a lot worse.
Here we got to look at Chris Willie trying to navigate his way past the 41 and 42, as they are both heavily damaged and holding everyone up right now.
I think the biggest killer right now for Marnell is that we have had our plethora of yellows, but nobody has exited the race yet. So as it stands right now, Marnell is 39th, one lap down, the first of 4 cars who are 1 lap down. So I think he's going to have to hope for people to keep getting in cautions, keep getting in crashes, and exit the race, as we've seen with Kyle Mabey and Jordan Madron. These guys are stubborn here at Darlington. They want to stay out as long as possible.
After all, this is one of the biggest attrition races on the schedule, so they're going to fight every bit they can to stay on the track. As here we got to look at Joe Kraus fighting with Ethan Harrison and Richard Fridge.
Gordoff led
Robbie
the first
Gordoff
4
is...
circuits.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
He's led the first 4 circuits, and as you were just about to say, he is taken the lead by storm over a 1.5 2-second lead over Blake Walker and Alexander Rowe.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he's really streaking away here. This is probably the biggest gap we've seen all day from first to second.
Here we got to look at Chase Gibbons. Heartbreaking run in the in-season tournament, but he's having a good day today in 4th. Here's a look at Riley Gorse and Chris Lilly as they navigate the 42, who very nearly just about took out 4 of them.
Look at Williams moving to the high side. He's going to try to get around the 43. As, caution comes out. Ian McDaniel takes his frustrations out on Jordan Madron, and it doesn't work. The 6 is going to spin around, and the 68 is once again involved in another incident. Ian
Tell you
McDaniel's
what, if I'm
rage.
on that 68-bit box, I'm going to go and wave the white flag already, because
I was going to say, I think this is
beaten, battered,
the
and
first
it's
strike
now
of the
the
day.
3rd. That is now strike 3 in terms of incidents. So if they want to come out of this without being jumped in the garage, they should probably just park it.
McDaniel's had enough with that 68. He about tried to take him out himself.
Good job by Brayson Collins and Zachary Ponce to narrowly avoid that.
Here we got
As
a
the
little bit
front-
of pit strategy.
Front part of
Front 4
the field,
stay out,
and then
and apparently
That's
no one else.
Are making a strategy call.
Alright, there we go. We got the rest of the runners. Chris Lilly's going to lead him down pit road here. Interesting
Green
call
up,
here.
interesting call.
Whole bunch of them pit, including the 2 tire cars. Interesting strategy decision.
If you're those front runners, I think you're biting your teeth now as you see the rest of the field come down pit road.
So Chris Lilly's going to lead him off.
They took fuel and 2 tires only.
It's like full service for the earlier 2 tire stoppers. That's going to bury them deep in this field, but at least this time they'll have a tire advantage.
Yeah, but as we've seen earlier, I don't think that tire advantage really matters that much. You're still going to have to go through a bunch of guys, and here we see the rest of the field come down pit road. This is brain scratching here, folks.
Yeah, this is...
I don't know what's going on here. They could have pitted the first time
player
around.
was perplexing, then this is really shocking, because, I mean, if you're going to pit, why would you not just do it a lap ago? Because now you're just going to automatically put yourself behind all those other cars. I mean, these guys are going to be 35th.
They're
It's
pitting with
really
the
going to
lap
shake
cars.
up the field.
Robbie Gordoff, who has led the 2nd most laps today behind Jerry Chen, or the most laps today, actually, did our math wrong. He is going to lead this field down pit road, take 4 tires a lap later than he should have, and peel out of pit road 35th, as Dominic just said. I think he lost the race off pit road to Blake Walker. Wow.
Well, we were talking about it earlier. Robbie Gordoff, lots of poles and lots of laps led. Not a lot of wins to show for it, and barring a shocking turn of events, it looks like that'll continue today. I'm sure he's not exactly thrilled with how things have played out here.
Tell you what, my scanner that I'm holding in my hand is quite hot right now, and I think I know why. That is just brain-numbing, as Squarius Greenhouse Jr. is about to lead the field back to green after a very high bounce of good fortune falls
So
his way.
the 52 stayed out through all of that. So the 52 on old tires got 2 tires last time. He's going to lead the field back to green on that 42 of 74, but he's got a field full of drivers that have 2 tires, 4 tires, what have you. And I think the 42 of Cam Arrow has 4 fresh tires, and he's going to be battling with this 52 alongside him to try to get his lap back the hard way.
Yeah, we've got a completely new cast of characters here at the front of the field. I think in this entire front 10 or so, the only 2 people I've seen so far are Logan Williams and Tyler Cook. Everyone else is showing their face for the first time today.
Well, Chris Lilly's trying to make himself a regular up at this front of the field as he looks to dive down the inside here of Greenhouse, coming off a 2. Won't do it there.
I
It's
think
a
it's
big old
shock to
Darlington
all.
stripe for the 68.
Wow, another one. On board with Logan Williams in 3rd place and 42 just in front of him. But this 42 is a lap car, but I don't think it's like how the 41 of Garcia is doing. This 42 is going to keep the pace and isn't exactly in the way of everything. Although if I'm Logan Williams, I'm still a little bit frustrated that the car in front of him would not be for position. To the lead goes the 1 of Chris Lilly.
It's another strong performance that are beginning to pile up for this one car as he looks to turn his season around and make himself a more legitimate contender for this championship as he is streaking away from the 52 on old tires.
Yeah, the 52 might bottleneck the field here. This might be exactly what Chris Lilly wants to see.
While behind them, Logan Williams looks to dive to the inside the 42. He should clear him here, and he will. That 17 was...
Go ahead.
17 was fast in happy hour earlier today, and he is looking to translate that into a good finish. So far, he's on track to do that.
I was going to say Logan Williams looking for a consistent run of good results at 17. He's had some good races, had some bad races. Just like him, the car behind Marnell right now, who is trapped 1 lap down, the 27 of Richard Fridge, who has been very inconsistently up front and down low this season. But Christopher Marnell, just not the happiest over the radio right now, to put it lightly, as he is keeping pace with this front-running group, and I would have to imagine he would be competing for this lead if things turned out this way, seeing where the 54 has cycled up. But we see these guys that have pitted earlier, the ones that had a little bit of communication issue, have not made their way an inch through this field. Maybe through 1 or 2 cars, but that's getting past Brayson Collins and the 32 of Kyle Mabey, which doesn't really feel like much if you're these guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the 33 and the 37, which have been arguably the 2 fastest cars of the day, and they are damn near last. I mean, especially the 37's only got like 3 or 4 cars behind him. Gordoff is a little bit higher up, but yeah, not what they want to see for sure.
Oh, hard contact from the 53 in the walls. We cut further up the field. Ian McDaniel turned around, front of the field. He gets hit hard by Walker. Hits hit by Maybe for good measure, and the caution comes out here at Darlington.
Lap
yeah, Blake
48.
Walker, he had a fast car today. That's a shame for him.
And another one of those guys that got trapped behind. We didn't really talk about Blake Walker that much, but that 88 was, what, 3rd place for a better half of the day. And then that incident happened where he gets shuffled down to the back. Chris Lilly, your leader here, as we will take a look at this incident. I can tell you what it is without opening my eyes. 99 hits the wall, bounces off of it, and McDaniel, nowhere for him to go. He just squeezes the 99 a little bit too much. And Blake Walker just holds the brake a little bit too late, and the 88 runs right to that 6 car.
Yeah, that started off very similar to the early crash with Garcia, just a little bit less cars piling into it after the fact, but very similar incident.
Got a little bit of pit strategy here. 52 on old tires. This is probably what he wanted to see. He's going to be able to come in and get fresh tires and mostly hold his track position. Still got a few cars to pass, but he's gonna make a big net gain out of all of this.
All right, guys.
Yeah, and I noticed.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say. So the last time we saw drivers come down pit road, which was probably the rest of the field, that was lap 39. We are seeing this yellow here on lap 49. Drivers coming down pit road. If the guys that just stayed out, which we'll recap that in a second, everybody can make it to the end considerably here with the guys that just came down pit road. The guys that just stayed out, as Chris Lilly is making the strategy call, he's going to come down pit road. They didn't think they were going to make it. A bit of a head scratcher from the leader here, but the one is going to come down to top off on fuel. This could be interesting. The 43, 60, 83, 78, 47, 4, 13, 37, and 14 all stay out. They would be very, very close to making it on the end.
Yeah, I mean, with the consistency of yellows that we've seen today, I don't think it's out of the question, but you got to commit to it. You can't pit if a yellow comes out from here on out.
Here we got the 43, leads the field back to green, side by side with his boss over in the 23 camp. He's going to get a good jump here, but Marnell's not going to give up just so quick. He's going to try and dive down to the inside here. He might just unlock himself the hard way.
Marnell's going to try to get back the hard way. Into the wall goes the 47. So, guys, I think this is going to be something we'll have to keep a careful eye on. If these guys, if we do go green the rest of the way, which I doubt we will, but if we do go green the rest of the way, these guys might not make it on fuel. We might see it'll all come down to who saved enough fuel. And if we do see a late yellow, see who saves enough under caution.
Oh, big hit into the wall by the 42. That's a bit more than a stripe right there. 13 seems to be in the wall as the 37 gets loose down the backstretch.
That was almost expensive for me, a 17 and the 37 right there together.
See, we got a little bit of traffic navigation.
With this strategy call, this has brought Alexander Rowe, Logan Williams, Garrett Lamar, Henry Guo back up to the front half of the field. As 37 tank slaps the wall for good measure, as does the 27. Dominic, I think you are wincing writing that paycheck there, seeing them hit the wall at the same time.
The last lap was almost expensive. That one was expensive.
Tell you what, turn 2 is going to look like a modern art exhibit when they have to go peel all the wrap off the wall there. Because they have been in it all day long, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. Here goes Williams down the inside of Lamar.
That is of Guo as well. Not to mention, we won't even talk about fuel for a second. This top 9 that stayed out, they haven't had tires since that pit stop on lap 39. So these guys are going to be searching for grip. Those tires are going to be screaming by the end of this run. And Logan Williams, 4 tires and fuel, he has already combed his way up to 6th place here at Darlington. He is trying to work his way through the field, and he is not going to let up.
A lot of these guys back here are banking on the leaders running out. Logan Williams is up there saying that I can just beat him on speed. Gotta respect that.
Eris Yuko battling back there. He is in about 12th place as we saw that little hodgepodge of drivers trying to play the balance. We're on lap 58 to 74. Should we try and work our way through the field and try to get back up to the top half of the field, or should we let these guys run out of fuel?
I'm thinking at this point you just try and work through, especially with the tire advantage that you have. We got to look at Stephen Colon here as he tries to make his way through the field here.
Both the 68, or both the 66 and the 69, 19th and 20th here today. Another solid run for the first year team that don't really have the greatest qualifying results, but they seem to find their way into the top 25 most oftentimes than not if they don't get involved in an incident.
We got to look at Arisuko battling with Ricardo Garcia. It's been a bit of a thorn in the side of these leaders all day. He's been trying to make his way through this race. Got Joe Kraus following him through.
It's been a really long day for Ricardo Garcia. I feel like I've seen everyone in the field pass him about 3 times over now.
40 earns himself his first Darlington stripe that I've seen today, as the 80 and 62 continue to fight each other.
This is for 16th place right here, as these guys did come down, get 4 tires and fuel. That's the 37 of Pro who stayed out. He's going to be one of the first drivers that these guys will pass for dozen in a row, falling like a rock. I think they're trying to save as much fuel as possible and make it to the end. We're going to go on board with Riley Corbs.
On board with the 60 here, he's got the lap car of the 23 bearing down on him. Right behind him, it's the 83 of Santiago Nicholas. He's had himself a strong little run of form recently. Capped it off with an in-season tournament win. He's looking to prove that he's more than just a super speedway merchant.
No, any other race,
sure,
and we'd see this 23 behind the 60, and you'd think Riley Gorse is sweating bullets, but not today.
Yeah, I'm sure he's pretty disappointed that he couldn't maintain the lead there ahead of Tyler Cook, because it's very difficult to get a lap back once you go a lap down, and that would have been the best shot that you could really have with the speed that the 23 car has, but wasn't able to make it happen.
Reed Simpson bouncing off the wall, trying to catch the 3rd place contender. Logan Williams sitting in 4th place. He knows he can make it. The 43, the 60, the 83, the 4, they're flat out to the end. As far as I can tell, we'll have to key in on the radio. Charlie and Dominic, you'll have to tune in to see what they're saying, but we know the 17 can make it all the way to the end. They're going to try to catch this front group. He's got a long ways to go, but if these guys are saving, especially through turns 3 and 4, I think Logan Williams can at least get close enough to try and put the pressure on.
Speaking of saving right here, 42 is currently doing the 13 a solid, one way or another. It's giving him the draft down the straightaways, allowing him to save a little bit of fuel. Although it's bottled up the field behind him, so I'm not sure how much longer he's going to want to drive like that. Here we got to look at Reed Simpson as he tries to chase down 3rd.
They're telling Reed to push from the pit box, guys. They're telling him, go to the end. We're going to run it dry.
Yeah, and I mean, realistically, if you're one of these front 3 or 4 here, even if you're not super comfortable with your fuel situation, you can't afford to save a ton. If you don't think you can make it, you're really just hoping for a yellow so you can save then. As far as under green flag running, I'm not sure there's much you can do without compromising yourself in another way.
Tell you what, the position to be right now is where this 43 is, because he's got gap to 2nd and clean track in front of him. Though it won't be like that for much longer. Got lapped cars up the road, but he's sitting pretty out there in the lead as we come down to it.
Lap 67 of 74 on board with Logan Williams, who has caught the back bumper of Reed Simpson. This is for 4th place. Here comes Logan Williams slowly but surely, and this is what a tire difference does, guys. 30-some lap old tire versus, I would say, I don't know, he's running for about 13 laps.
You can just tell by how much more planted he is through the corners that he is way faster, and it won't be long before he gets by these guys. But that 43 is a big fan of the 60, 83, and 4 right now, especially the 23 too, as he continues to stay with these guys.
The 43 has caught lap traffic. We will see how he is able to manage getting around them. As the 83 bobbles up wide, the 17 looks down to the low side, isn't able to make the pass on Reed Simpson. Santiago Nicholas had a little bit of a scary moment there through turns 3 and 4. That's Kyle Mabey sitting in front of Tyler Cook, who has not gotten around him even at the slightest, and Ian McDaniel in the 6, who the 6 was fast, but he got caught up in the last 2 incidents bringing out the yellow, and that 6 car looks pretty expensive for the team owner Ian McDaniel.
Yeah, this gap has come down majorly.
That 43 radio is buzzing off every other second. He is not happy with how the 32 is holding up. He'll finally get down to his inside here.
Kyle maybe blocked him almost to the wall there, as here comes around the 43 goes to... Oh, no, I don't think
Horse
he
is
got
there.
He won't pass him this time, and that really held him up, and now it's a mosh pit for the lead. As the 60 gets ready to crawl right past him around the outside.
He does. Lead change, new leader, Riley Gorse here, coming to 3 laps to go here at Darlington Speedway.
Bones Motorsports looking for 2 in a row at Darlington. Rookie Zachary Ponce won last season, and rookie Riley Gorse leading with 4 to go here this season.
Tell you what though, that tire advantage for the 17 might just come up huge here, because those next 4 cars are for position and they are all together.
And shooting the gap between Cook and Simpson as Cook's going to come to pit road here.
43 is coming down pit road. Logan Williams is right there on the side of the 4. The 60 gets held up by the 23 as the 32 is blocking all over the place. This is going to be a lead change. Santiago Nicholas to the outside here with 3 laps to go. Excuse me, lap 72 to 74. The 83 rockets around the outside. Wouldn't this be the statement win for Santiago Nicholas to say, hey guys, I'm not a plate merchant, I can get it done here at Bogus.
60's really slowed down recently. I think he's trying to make it last to the end now. He's given up on trying to win. He just wants to secure a good finish.
This gap from Nicholas right here is the biggest lead anyone's had since we ran up on this group of lap cars here.
Here's Desquarius Greenhouse Jr. He has joined the party. Who gave him this invite? The 52 out of nowhere as the 4 gets a big head of steam down the back straightaway. The 60 really conserving, and I think the 17 of Logan Williams is furious with how the 60 is doing. I think the 60 is on his last legs. Final lap, 1 lap to go here at Darlington. The 83 of Santiago Nicholas is really having to lift the corners on board with Reed Simpson hunting down the 83.
Well, these lap cars are holding him up big. He's got a huge run going down the backstretch. I wouldn't be surprised to see a move made here going into 3.
Through turns 3 and 4, the 4. The 83 protecting the bottom. The 4 going to the high side. The 83 wiggles a little bit off of 4. It's Reed Simpson who takes the win here at Darlington.
What a finish.
What an ending. Based off of what I'm hearing on the radio, it sounds like the 83 just ran out of gas, started sputtering coming off of 4, and 4 was in the right place at the right time to capitalize on it.
Yeah, with the 23 in between Santiago Nicholas and Reed Simpson, I wasn't sure that he was going to be able to get it done, but right in the dying moments of the final lap, he's able to get around him on the outside.
Good shout to Logan Williams in 3rd.
I think he got 2nd there.
He might have.
And I'll tell you what, if it weren't for the 4 hitting the wall off of turn 4 with 1 or 2 to go, I think roles might have been reversed there, and Logan Williams would have been the one stealing the win, but Reed Simpson's able to hang on.
Reed Simpson gets his first career victory here at Darlington, and he had enough gas to do this burnout. What a job done.
Tell you what, it's a big one for Toyota as well. They've been scuffling in LIMECAR. Glad to see them get a good result.
Logan Williams, with the freshest tires in the field, ends up 3rd. And man, I mean, that was a phenomenal finish and a phenomenal race from start to finish. And that 17 took him down to the wire. I think if we had 1 more lap, I think Logan Williams finally had enough clean air to get it done and get by. But who knows? Maybe next year the race will be 75 laps. But for now, for this year, it was 74, and this year it's another first-time winner for the first time 2 seasons in a row. It is Reed Simpson getting the job done for TGR NA, formerly Simpson Autosport. Reed Simpson with such a tumultuous last few seasons. And Christopher Murnell, what a heartbreaker, 35th on the charts after such honestly, a decent day, but with the speed they showed at the end, was a day that could have been promising and just wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about who's frustrated coming out of here, I'm sure Marnell, Gordoff, and Alexander Rowe are probably top 3 on that list.
Tell you what, down this stretch, it's been a game of hot potato for the points lead every week between the 13 and 23. Put the 13 back in the lead as the rest of the field's starting to close up on that gap there.
And you mentioned Robbie Gordoff. I think he has to be the most frustrated. He has gone from 3rd to 6th in the point standings, and that just shows you how tightly contested those point standings are.
Yeah, it's really a lot of people are all over each other from 3rd on back. Lamar and Marnell still have a decent advantage, but it's coming down race by race at this point.
It's a 41-point spread from 1st to 6th in points. I would say that those first 6 cars are probably your championship favorites as we move down the stretch.
And I wouldn't count out Michael Guthrie and Henry Guo. We saw last season Henry Guo won 2 of the last 3 races there, Dominic. He won at Talladega and won at Homestead. If he's able to pull off that type of run, being in 6th place, or 7th place in points rather than, I think he was 13th in points before that all unfolded. 2 wins in the last 3 races would be a huge momentum shift, especially with the 120 points that you would get from winning 2 races.
Yeah, Henry and really everyone on DAF Racing, we haven't been doing ourselves a lot of favors in terms of consistency. It's been very up and down season for all 4 cars, but if we can start stringing something together, I definitely like Henry's chances as we move into the final third or so of this season.
Absolutely. Well, we've had honestly a very incredible race and another classic Darlington finish. We'll take a look at our race highlights, guys. Any final words, any final thoughts? We'll see our highlights through the screen. What did we make of the race here today?
Showed a lot of resilience and grit from some of the front runners. It's another game of hot potato for the points lead. Just a lot of crashes, a lot of chaos. Just another good race from LIMECAR as usual. Can't wait to be back for more.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a really interesting race. I think the storyline has definitely shifted from the first part of the season. It was a very CRT-dominated early portion, and as of late, it seems like they just can't get out of their own way in multiple different areas. So we'll have to see how that develops throughout the final races here, but I think it's anyone's game, which I wouldn't have said a few weeks ago.
Especially with how the points have really closed up. We see Lamar and Marnell the class of the field 1A and 1B this season, swapping the points lead back and forth. But I would have to imagine now, if you are a Santiago Nicholas, an Aris Yuko, even a Henry Guo, or a Michael Guthrie, I would have to imagine you're looking at it and saying, this championship could be mine. And we still have plenty of races to go. We still have 5 more events to finish. That's plenty of time for these guys to try and get something done. Even for Robbie Gordoff. Imagine if we saw what happened with Marnell last season, right? He got his first win at Gateway. That propelled him to a championship. If Gordoff's able to get his first win, who knows what could happen. He could rattle off 2-3 in a row, maybe. Especially with the races that we've got coming up.
Yeah, I mean, with Robbie Gordoff, we've known the whole time that the issue isn't speed. It's just being able to finish off the race when you do have speed. So, like I said at the beginning of this race today, if he keeps running like he's running, he's going to get one eventually. The bad luck can't last forever, but I'm sure it's certainly disheartening to have it happen again and again and again.
Well, next race we go to will be Mosport over in Canada. Gordoff has been the best of the CRT cars at the road courses in terms of pure pace. Maybe that'll be the time that he does it. You'll have to tune in next time to find out.
Marnell does have that win at Watkins Glen, which is a very similar style of racetrack. But I would say definitely if you're a betting favorite, if you're a betting man, CRT might be the way to go at the road courses, especially over the last few seasons. But thank you guys for watching. Appreciate everyone for sticking around. And we will see you guys next week for a new track. First time we've been there, guys. It'll be Mosport. Can't wait to see what the 42 drivers of the field will be able to do in the fast and tough road course up north.